people are often shocked at the thought of seeing naked males in public, as though the very idea is repulsive. Not so for Israel. God decided to use a reproductive organ as a visible symbol to the rest of the world, to demonstrate a covenant promise. How? Through circumcision. To put it directly, a penis is a functional tool designed for planting seed. In Genesis, we learn that God hand-shaped every part of the human anatomy. He made a point to instruct Adam that an essential purpose for humanity is to be fruitful and fill the earth. In fact, many of our familiar words originate from that purpose, like our words for husband and wife. They mean farmer and vineyard. It wasn't just vegetables and fruit that God wanted when He told the naked Adam and Eve to reproduce a multitude. Sexuality doesn't have to be odd or squeamish. Stripping bare and accepting our naked bodies as normal helps us understand this function as a part, but not the whole reason for our nudity. And in His wisdom, God had crafted the penis with a covering. The removal of that covering or foreskin makes the penis even more visible and prominent in its purpose. In Genesis 17, God informed Abraham, "This is my covenant, which you shall keep between me and you and your offspring after you. You shall be circumcised in the flesh of your foreskins, and it shall be a sign of the covenant between me and you. He who is 8 days old among you shall be circumcised. Every male throughout your generations shall surely be circumcised. So shall my covenant be in your flesh, an everlasting covenant." God's plan was to present literally His covenantal promise to the world by thrusting the circumcised penis out into the light of day. What is circumcision exactly? It is the permanent removal of the hood-like flap of skin from the head of a male's penis. And in order to participate in important Jewish legal and religious activities, Israel's men were required to be circumcised. It doesn't really cross our minds today. But how would others know that Jewish men were circumcised unless they saw the visible difference? Some biblical scholars believe this was how Joseph confirmed to his brothers that he was a Hebrew when he was prefect of uncircumcised Egypt. Then Joseph cried out, "Make everyone go out from me." So no one stayed with him when Joseph made himself known to his brothers. See Genesis 45. You see, circumcision was a major part of Jewish identity. The nation had a holy contract with God Almighty cut into their very reproductive organs. Hundreds of years later, during the Greek rule over Jerusalem by Antiochus, occupied Israel was expected to exercise naked in the gymnasiums, literally a place of nakedness, with their Greek counterparts. The Greeks, however, were offended when they saw the Jewish boys with their circumcised penises. The young athletes tried to disguise their circumcisions, but this caused so much cultural anger that rabbis developed a more thorough form of circumcision, making it almost impossible for decircumcision. The Greek government cracked down hard, ordering Jewish women not to allow their baby boys to be circumcised. Disobedience resulted in a torturous death. Nonetheless, the Jewish community resisted and continued their practice. It was a matter of identity. Still, even though God made this covenant in the flesh with Abraham, He had another idea in mind. The outward was designed to be a representation of the inward. God was looking for a people whose hearts were turned to Him. In Deuteronomy 10:16, he instructs the people. Circumcise therefore the foreskin of your heart, and be no longer stubborn. Physical nakedness helps us remember this covenant. When you see a circumcised penis, instead of shrinking back, think of the beauty of its purpose and of God's promise.